This video will show you how to keep your drains cleaned for proper drainage on the S550 W221. This is a 2013 model, and I'm going to show you where all your cowl drains are. One is right there. You want to keep that cleaned out. You can use a fish tape to push down in there, and it'll push any debris out. And then you have one on the other side. It's right there. Water drains right through here. You want to make sure this area keeps clean of any leaves and debris. You don't want to block those little holes, because the rainwater flows through those holes right down into this drain. So you want to push a fish tape down through this drain. If you're not familiar with a fish tape, just Google it. It's what electricians use to fish wire through long tubing. Okay, you have two more drains that you have to be aware of. The other one is down inside this. It's all the way down inside there in the bottom. I don't know if you can see it in this video, but if you just pull this cover off, and it just pulls up, it just snaps back in place. If you pull it up, you'll see the drain. It's all the way down on this side of it, down in the bottom. You want to keep that drain clear of any leaves and debris, because if it's clogged up with leaves, this reservoir will fill up, and then there's it's kind of like a waterfall. Just down in there, there's a hole that goes into your air conditioning system. As your air conditioning fan pulls air through that hole into your AC system inside. So what Mercedes did was they put this drain hole down below that waterfall section. So once the water fills up in there and reaches kind of like a cliff, and then it overflows and goes down into the floorboard of your car. So you want to keep that cleaned out. The other one is right here. You see these little holes? Very little holes. They get clogged up very easily. Now this drain here on this 2013 S550 is draining into this thing. As I follow, that's where the tube goes. It goes down in the bottom of this thing and also uses that same drain. Okay, and you have one more drain right here. And what this drain is for your driver's side hood vent. See this little thing? Oh, this is all rotted out. I'll have to get a new one. As you see, it just falls apart. But that's so when water gets into your, see, you have two of these vents. The one on that side over there is for your air conditioner intake. That's up above the thing I showed you a while ago. This one is kind of considered a fake vent, just to even it out, so they have two vents on the car instead of one. So it really serves no purpose. So what they did is they put a drain hole right here, and when you close the hood, it sets right over this thing. So the water drains all the way down this tube down below the car. So you got the one over there, this one, that one, and that one. You want to keep them all cleaned out of leaves and debris so the water flows properly the way it's supposed to. What also happens when they don't drain freely the way they're supposed to, they overflow right here. They overflow right there, and they overflow right there. And as they overflow, the water rushes down your firewall, down back in there, where all the seams of this body were put together. Mercedes puts, you know, some type of sealant over the seams, but after a while, you know, those seams can leak and allow water to get in. So that's why you want these drains to stay clear. Mercedes designed this car to keep that firewall dry. They don't want it getting wet. You also have rubber grommets on that firewall that allow, you know, wires and tubes to go through the firewall to connect to things under your dashboard. So you want to keep all that firewall dry. And the only way to do that is to keep these drains cleared out. Again, this is a 2013 S550 W221. It belongs to Dr. Soap. Now, the other thing that was done on this model was the drain here and the drain here. Where they drain is down behind the fender, behind the front tires. Here, I'll show you over here. That drain tube comes down to a little hole right here behind the front tire. There it is. It's right there. And if you pour water in that drain up there, you'll see the water coming out right here. So what's back there is a small pocket, kind of like a little funnel that the tube sets down in. You want to get that tube out of that. And what I did is I extended the Mercedes tube. I connected 1 1/4 inch plastic tubing to the end of it with a hose clamp. And I made that tubing 13 inches long, and it just bypasses that little pocket. And that way, leaves and stuff. See, when you poke a fish tape down in these drains, this one and the one over there, it kind of bottoms out in that pocket back behind that little hole that's located behind the back tire. So you're not really doing anything. You're pushing anything that was in the pipe down into that pocket, and then the pocket just fills up. You'll never get it out of that pocket unless you remove the fender well and scoop it out with your fingers. So instead of doing that, just open your fender wells and take these drain tubes out of the little pocket, connect the 13 inch, 1 1/4 inch diameter clear tubing with a hose clamp to the end of the Mercedes Benz tube, and then just bypass that pocket altogether and run the clear tube all the way down to the bottom of the car. At 13 inches, mine sits about 1 or 2 inches off the bottom roadway plate that they put on the bottom of these cars to keep road from things from the road from, you know, slinging up at the body. So now the water drains on mine and just drains down there on those plastic trim pieces, and then just kind of overflows down there onto the road. I hope this helps. It will definitely help keep the inside of your car dry. And you just want to do this anytime you buy one of the W221s. I understand the problem was happening, you know, as far back as, you know, 2007 and maybe even earlier. So any of these 2007 to 2013, I don't know what they did after 2013. You want to look at these drains and do these things, and that's going to keep the water out of your front floorboards, which will cause extensive damage to your computer system. I hope that helps. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.